They are the restaurants that we cherish and hold a special place in our hearts, where warm and welcoming staff greet us with a smile and make us feel like cherished guests. These are the establishments that whisk us away on a culinary adventure, and no detail is overlooked in offering extraordinary dining experiences. It is where we choose to toast our achievements and celebrate milestones with our loved ones. They are the distinguished restaurants of North America, and every DiRōNA has a story. Meet Chef Bruno Serato, the renowned owner of the iconic Anaheim White House. Chef Bruno's culinary mastery has earned him widespread acclaim, but his impact goes far beyond the kitchen. He is the founder of the nonprofit Catarina's Club, which has provided over 7 million meals to hungry children in need. Recognized as a CNN hero and honored by the Vatican, Chef Bruno's dedication to both exceptional dining and giving back to the community makes him a true inspiration. With us today, Chef Bruno Serato, DiRōNA Hall of Fame member, but much more than that, author, celebrated chef and restaurant owner, and most importantly to him, philanthropist. Bruno, thank you for joining us today.
A pleasure. Thanks for inviting me to be part of this. I'm very excited about. Thank you.
Owner of the Anaheim White House, a renowned location, but a great story for those in culinary school and those working in a restaurant with bigger dreams. You went from busboy to restaurant owner. Tell us how that happened.
We could talk for a few hours, but we don't have that kind of a time. But yeah, I came to this country. After a few weeks I was in this country, I want to work. I applied to a restaurant which called La Vie en Rose then. And I had me as a dishwasher, as a busboy, went to waiter. In 4 years' time, I was the general manager. Year number 7, I find the White House in Anaheim for sale through a friend of mine who was working there as a manager. And he asked me to talk to the owner to see if there's something can happen. I went to talk to the owner then, but after 5 years, I would still have $200 in my pocket only. I didn't have $1 million to buy a restaurant, but you know what, in life is always say, never give up, keep going. And I went to have a meeting with this gentleman, an amazing gentleman, Jim Stovall. I have to talk to him after his price. He asked me how much money I have. I said, I don't have any. He looked at me in the eyes. He said, I like your honesty. He gave me a handshake. From that end, the history of Anaheim White House went keep going. I'm thankful to the gentleman and has trusted me with just a handshake. Obviously, through the SBA loan, everything else after. But that was the beginning. Thanks to be honest with people and to not be afraid to tell them you have nothing. You cannot be ashamed to say you have nothing if you don't have nothing. And I was not ashamed to tell them I have no money, but I want to buy a restaurant. Here I am.
Honesty can go a long way with others in the world. It's
Definitely.
Spectacular. Now, chef of this fantastic restaurant, the menu is incredible. We had the pleasure of dining with you there a few years ago. You cover everything from caviar to duck to rabbit. What inspired the menu for you?
At the beginning, I started with my Italian influence. I'm Italian, but also work in a French restaurant, live in France. I mean, I have a couple items, French, like escargot is a big item. I mean, it's probably one of the top appetizers, then we sell it. Everybody loves my escargot. They tell me they're better than Paris. And they're from an amazing chef, which is the recipe, this recipe, give it to me, and I'm proud of it. Caviar is a big boom lately, and it's a Russian sturgeon, but it's from Italy. I'm from Verona, north of Italy, and only 30, 40 miles from my home, they have this huge scent of caviar called Calvatsius, considered one of the best ones in the world. And When I discovered that, I said, that must be on the menu. It's close to my hometown. And after put my regular item like amatriciana, carbonara, famous pasta of Rome, Italy, lately I decided to add a few items that you don't find on the menu anymore. Rabbit, duck, yes, you still find it, but veal liver, I mean, you don't see any liver in a menu anymore these days. You don't find rabbit, like I mentioned, in the menu anymore. You don't find frog legs in the menu anymore. And I say, I love those items. And where can I go to eat them? I put them in my own menu, and I can have them anytime I want. And it's been successful impact to the customer. A lot of people, I mean, the caviar, yes, always been a big thing, but rabbit, frog legs, veal liver, it's really item that people like, oh, I'm so glad you have it. I cannot find it. It's like I have another item I do for special, it's the sandabs. Very simple piece of filet of fish. But what I do for special, sold out, and people rave about. You don't find that too in the menu. And that's what the menu is inspired to please people, that they research items that they cannot find it.
And not only do you have a menu that your patrons have fallen in love with, but the facility itself, I mean, the building is second to none. The patio, I mean, the building itself being in your restaurant is beautiful. What inspired the patio? The patio is almost fairy tale-like, from the colors emanated from the trees to the tables themselves. I mean, it's like being in a wonderland outside. Where did that whole idea come from?
Well, as an Italian, we love to eat outdoor. I mean, if I go to a restaurant in Italy and they tell me we have a table inside, but outdoor will be an hour minimum, we wait. We love to eat outdoor. I tried in my restaurant a lot of time, never work. Guess what? COVID was a plus. To say that as a restaurateur, knowing many of them suffer because of COVID, for me was a blessing in a sense, not the COVID himself, obviously, but was a blessing because when our governor shut us completely the in dining room, I had all my table outdoor dining. That was a bingo. It turned out to be magnificent. I got the tree to give the atmosphere with light on it, changing color. And I realized how much people love it. And that's going to be forever and ever. And one thing I really like, people are still afraid of COVID. I mean, it's not completely gone. I have some elderly people, sometimes they have a little bit of health issue. They don't want to eat inside. Before, an elderly couple will never eat outdoor. Now they want to be outdoor, and they don't stay an hour and a half. Now they stay 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, because they love it so much. The younger couple, the one who take in the girlfriend or the young wife, when they come, it's like, wow, this is a fairy tale. You're sitting outdoor with the atmosphere. You don't want to go home. You want to stay there for hours. And when you look at the building from outdoor, remember the building is 1909, 120 years old. It's historical national landmark. It's magnificent. I fell in love with the building when I was a customer once. It's like, wow, this is gorgeous. I love history from the old country. I mean, 2,000 years old is almost new these days, Colosseum, Arena, etc., etc. I always love this building, and now it's completely new, remodeling and everything, but the same style of 1909, and it's just magical, magical.
Anaheim White House is just as magical to us. You touched on something there, that the building was rebuilt. We met, I believe it was Kelly that had called to introduce ourselves as the new heads of DiRōNA for you. And we caught you on a day, February 2017, I think would have been the month and the year. You had just lost the building from a horrific fire. It was electrical fire, was it not?
Yeah, that was a tragedy of my business. I was working until midnight because I was preparing the invitation for my 30 years anniversary of the restaurant opening up. And unfortunately, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I had a bad phone call from fire department, and my building was on fire. And when I got there immediately, everything was completely gone, almost completely gone. We were able to only save the wall to the back, to the right side, but the balcony, the front collapsed, and the interior was completely gone. It was a bad fire caused by an electrical outlet. The building was also older, like over 100 years old. I mean, between some, it rained a lot at the winter time, and after that, when the wood dry up with some electrical spark, it was very easy to catch the fire. I mean, I was closed down for a year and a half, and the bad things turned out to be the good things for one reason. The restaurant was old. I still love it. I love the structure. I mean, when I applied to redo it, I had to redo exactly the same, and it was made in 1909. That was a historical landmark requirement by the city. And I said, okay, well, they just let me have the veranda on the front, which is help the look. And I rebuilt it. But the interior, I removed a couple wall inside that I was able to do because the historical landmark is from the outdoor, not the indoor. And I decor the restaurant my way. All the color that I want, all the touch detail was Bruno's way. And I love it. The day I reopened, which was May 17, 2018, I cry over happiness. I mean, I was crying so much a year and a half before, and I cry over happiness. I was so happy the way it turned out. Every detail was just beautiful and gorgeous, and I'm very proud of my restaurant. If I did not own it, that is the place I will go for dinner.
Your perseverance is exceptional, and obviously your passion for the restaurant. I mean, the fire to persevere through COVID. It's a little wonder you have the love for it that you do, and your patrons feel, I think, the same way, that that are so loyal to you. I think the thing most dearest to your heart that I've always found, knowing you, is your charity, and you're really exceptional in what you've done, not only locally in the area, but the entire community. You're feeding children to the thousands, I think, daily now. Where did this start, and how did it turn into such an exceptional Catarina's Club for you?
April 18, 2005, which was over 18 years ago, my mom came from Verona, Italy, to visit me for a few months. One afternoon that day, we went to a boys' girls club in Anaheim. And I was made aware of a kid that was eating potato chips, then that could be his only dinner tonight. And I asked her why. He said, well, because we have a lot of low-income children, a lot of kids that live in a motel room. And in 55, when Disneyland opened, those motel was for tourists. Now it's for low-income people, and also the bad people, some drug addict, drug dealer, etc., etc. And if you have a good mom and live in a motel room, she cannot even cook because there's no kitchen. I translated to my mom what was happening with those children. And as an Italian mom, what does she say? But why don't you feed them pasta? That was a bing of something that never expect. Never stop. We start one kid, one location in one city. Now we are in 120 location, 32 city, and we are 5,000 meals every single day. That is huge because just recently we celebrated 9 million meals served. But it didn't stop there. Some people got inspired by me around the world. And it has been done in Texas, Chicago, New York, Mexico, Ethiopia, Africa, Italy, my country, Nepal, India, Philippines, and also recently in Oklahoma. Somebody texted me, then they start my program because of me. I mean, I serve 9 million meals in Orange County alone, but there's a million meals being served around the world. thanks to have inspired those people, which is make me very pleased about that. That is huge of Feeding the Kids in America project. But we did not stop there. After a few years, I started to investigate why family live in a motel room. And beside the bad people, I mean, talk about drug addict, drug dealer, etc., etc. There are good people living in a motel room too, but they don't have enough money to save to move to an apartment. The biggest issue is the deposit. And years ago was $2,000-3,000. Now it's $5,000 for 2 months deposit. Those people cannot save $5,000. Normal people with a normal job has our time to save $5,000. Imagine those people. I mean, I move out one family, the first family, by pay the first and last month. Family of 6, mom, dad, 4 children, used to live in a motel room for 12 years in one bedroom. The little girl used to tell me she'd do her homework, sit on the toilet because that was the quietest place in the room. It was pretty sad. This morning before our interview, I called my office to see how many people we moved so far. So we just moved one yesterday. And that was family number 268. I mean, we already moved 268 family out from motel, garage, even car. People sometimes work, live in a car. Think about it. I mean, it's almost ridiculous. But 268 families have been moved out to a decent living apartment from Caterina's club. And my third project, kids, teenagers cannot keep going to boys' girls club. I decided to do something about it. I started to get 10, 12 teenager kids and do a training program in my restaurant with me, with my customer for 3 months. After 3 months, you work at the White House. You're not professional, but you learn something and you can apply for a job somewhere. And I really hire some of them to work for me anyway. And just by teaching them and try to help them to get work somewhere in the industry. I mean, I call my charity the Trinity. We give them food, we give them home, and we give them job. And it's called after my mom, Caterina's, which is Caterina's Club.
We know if your mother was here, how incredibly proud of you she would be. It's there's not many restaurateurs like you that can work the days and put the time and effort in, but still have so much time to have so much care and compassion towards others. So thank you for that. It's incredible what you do for your community, and it's now spreading worldwide, which must mean everything to you.
I done speech all over the world for that. I did speech in Dubai, in Brazil, United Nations, with the Pope in the Vatican, downtown Latin national, international TV, all around the world, to tell them it's easy to do. You just have to stop to talk about it, but to do something about it. That's it.
I know you've been incredibly recognized for not only the phenomenal restaurant that you've built and created, and how happy your patrons are that it's there, but it's been taken notice by DiRōNA. We were grateful and honored to award you 2018 with the Hall of Fame award, but this has carried on. You've received the CNN Legends Award along the way, the Cavalieri, I believe, from the Italian government. The accolades that you list on your website are exceptional. Start with the one that means the most to you.
Well, the CNN was the really big one because they picked 10 people around the world for what they do. That was 2011, and it was internationally televised. At that time, CNN was so big, then phone ring off the hook for months and weeks. And that was something special. The event was like an Academy Award. All the movie stars was there. Jerry Seinfeld introduced me. Dr. Drew walked on me on the red carpet. But anyone was there. It's really like an Academy Award event. It was that. Ellis Island Award is also very special because 7 United States presidents have it. Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali, Jackie Kennedy. when I see my name next to these people, it's just like, no, I'm nothing next to them, but it's very good one. I have a Red Cross one, which is also mean a lot. Um, I can go on and on and on, but I just dedicate all of them to my mom and all the children that I've been serving. It's over, I think, close to 200 awards, and I got around the world. Obviously, me as a Catholic man, to be able to talk about with the Pope Francis and met him and gave him my own book. So it was very special.
I think the world would be a better place if we had more people like you. You're exceptional to not only the industry but to your community and to many worldwide, no doubt. And this all seems to come together with the name of your book, which restaurant success, what the charity offers and provides for the community. It's truly the power of pasta. And how did that come together?
Love the name. I love the name. Always want to write something about myself as a biography and what I do. And it could not be better title than Power of Pasta. I mean, the books is about where I come from. I come from very, very poor family, eating spaghetti for lunch, coffee and milk and leftover bread at nighttime, wearing clothes from people across the street, be thankful to people across the street who helped my mom and my dad and the other 7 children. They left Italy in 1951 to the north of France to pick up potatoes and beets to start a new life, and went back in 67 to Italy, our country. I mean, I got a lot of help from my mom, and I got a lot of help, even myself. But I mean, the book started with the bio, and they go to where I am today. How they start the first kid, second kid, and how many children we serve up to then. I mean, Power of Pasta was a perfect book. I done in Italian too, and I kind of like the Italian almost better because the Italian was done after the fire. The Power of Pasta English was before the fire. In fact, I stopped the printing right there at the fire because it happened during that time when I launched the book. But when I went back to Italy, I print in Italian with the new photo in Italian style too, which in Italian language. But it's very dear to me because people see me filling the case on the White House. People think I'm rich and famous. I say, famous? Little bit, yeah, because I've been internationally interviewed. Rich? No, I come with very, very poor family who work the farm all their life.
It's you're a true testament that through hard work, perseverance, anything is possible. So we are honored as DiRōNA not only to have the Anaheim White House as a DiRōNA awarded restaurant. I think we're even more honored to have you as a Hall of Fame member. So continued success with the restaurant and most definitely with the charities. Thank you, Bruno. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you. We say in Italian, ciao.
Ciao. Thanks, Bruno.